Hello friends, welcome to Biology Concern. I am Animesh. In my previous video, I already discussed about coral and how coral is formed, and in this video I am going to discuss about types of coral reefs and where do they found. So basically coral reefs are classified into three major categories. One is fringing reef, next one is barrier reef, and third one is the atoll. Okay, atoll. So what are the this kind of reefs? Fringing reef, barrier reef, and atolls. So if we observe the structure of fringing reef, so basically fringing reef, okay, so if there is a mainland, so if we consider this is the mainland, okay, so this is the mainland, so fringing reefs are start just beside from the mainland, so it starts from here and it extends up to some of the diameter or some of the kilometers or several meters, kilometers, even though. So whenever a reef or coral reef, so whenever a coral reef attached with the mainland, so basically these are attached with the mainland, so these kind of reefs are known as fringing reefs. Okay, examples of the fringing reef is the Ningalo reef, and it is basically found in west coast of Australia. Okay, so this is the largest fringing reef in the world, that is the Ningalo reef, and it resides with the mainland, so this kind of reef is known as fringing reef. Second one is the barrier reef. So what is the barrier reef? So in case of barrier reefs, the reefs are present distant from the mainland. So if we consider this is the mainland, so the reefs starts from here. Okay, so reefs are start from here. So this is the coral reef, and it stretch about a meter, several meters or kilometers. So coral reef. Okay, and there is a structure known as reef lagoon. So reef lagoon is basically filled with water. So filled with water, and it stretch of several meters to the bottom. So we observed there is a gap from mainland to coral reef, and these kinds of reef surrounds any kind of that is the mainland, and this kind of reef is known as barrier reef. One example of this barrier reef is the Great Barrier Reef, Australia. Okay, Great Barrier Reef, Australia. And third concern is the atoll. So what are the atolls? So basically if there is some volcanoes present inside of the water, so this is the volcano. Okay, so this is the structure of volcano. So the reef, basically the coral reef, is formed the periphery of this particular structure or volcano. Okay, or if there is a mainland, so there is a mainland particular like that, and so this is the mainland, and the reef is formed surrounded by this mainland. Okay, so the reef is formed surrounded by the mainland. So in course of evolution, when the mainland is submerged into the water, then there is a hollow structure appears. So if this mainland is submerged into the water, so we observe this kind of structure. So there is filled, the middle structure is filled with water, so this is the filled with water, and we only observe the reef structure here. So the reef structure here. So this is the known as atolls, okay, or some kinds of the, if there is a volcano present inside the ocean, then the surface of the volcano, the reef is present, or the reef is formed. So reef is formed surface of volcano, okay, and whenever this volcano becomes submerged into the water, then the reefs appear to the upside. So we observed there is a hollow space between the reef or inside the reef, and this hollow space is filled with water. And these kinds of reefs is known as atoll. Several atolls are present in the Pacific Ocean. The atolls are really interesting reefs in the top 3 reefs, okay, that is the fringing reef, barrier reefs. So atolls are the most interesting reefs in the coral reefs, and our favorite movie director, that is the James Cameron, okay, we all heard about his James Cameron, so the director of Titanic, okay, so he went down in this atoll, one of these atoll. So basically James Cameron dived into one of these atoll in Pacific Ocean, and he was equipped with a particular machine that is made by Mercedes-Benz, okay, Mercedes-Benz. So Mercedes-Benz specifically made a particular machine for respiration of James Cameron, and James Cameron dived into one of these atolls in several kilometers of this atoll and found some jellyfish, and he found some species of jellyfish, sea anemone, and various and 2 or 3 other species, and this is the one of the most marvelous discovery by James Cameron, okay. So the atolls are basically really interesting, and it harbors, and inside of these atolls it harbors various kinds of species, and this is the rich areas, and those species are specifically yet to discovered, okay. So basically maximum of the species are not discovered yet and yet to discovered, but coral reefs, that is the fringing reef or barrier reef, they also supports the various types of species, and they are contribute to the environment, but we observed several species that yet to be discovered are present with these atolls. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please hit the like button, don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.